everybody and welcome back to another Mek Shop video. So guys, what are we looking at today? Well, I decided that it's been quite a lot of vehicles and stuff and quite a lot of orky constructs that we've been looking at. So I thought to myself, well, what really haven't I got? And I was like, well, I've not really got a HQ for my army. The Mega Dread doesn't count because it's only the Mecha Dread that counts as a HQ. So I thought to myself, it's a mech list. Let's make a big mech. That's right, guys. And here he is. He is probably one of the biggest of mechs that I've actually seen. And if I zoom in like this, I only barely fill the frame with him. It's absolutely fantastic, guys. So, what prompted me to create this absolute monstrosity? Well, I wanted a big mech. But the big mech models that are out there, they're not very big. They're kind of small. And I know the big mech is implied that it's kind of, you know, he is the mech, like the only mech that actually does stuff. But I wanted a proper big mech. I wanted him to basically dwarf Ghazghkull in regards to size, because Ghazghkull is one of the bigger orc miniatures that's out there, and he's even in Mega Armor. Now, this guy is in Mega Armor, but I'll run down the overall construction of him. First and foremost, starting from the feet up, the front toe caps are actually from a Death Dread set. The legs that he's on is the remaining parts of the Mechanicum Pimp Throne that I did. It was that Inquisitor Kazamarov, or whatever his name is. It's his legs of his Pimp Throne. So I used them because I thought, well, they're lying about. That's pretty much not going to do anything, just sitting there in a bits box. So I thought I'd use them because it gives a really nice frame for the actual big mech to sit on. Now, the torso is a Ghazghkull torso because it's one of the bigger Mega Armor. Well, it's the only big Mega Armor torso that you can get. Now, in regards to that, because I wanted him on the legs, I actually had to do some chopping and changing of him. Because the front of it is kind of like angled, I had to cut that off basically so that it would allow it to fit on the legs itself. Now, once that was done, I started building the arms, and I painted the arms separately. The arms are just the generic arms from the Mega Knobs box set. And I wanted him to have the teleporter gun on top, but because the teleporter gun was on top, he kind of looked a bit off balance. He looked a bit too tall, so I decided to balance the entire model with the mechanical arms that you see coming out. They're actually Killer Can arms that I had spare. Well, the spare arms that you get from the Death Dread sets, and I've got 3 Death Dreads, so I had quite a few arms spare. The buzzsaw on this one here is from the Mega Knob sprue, and then the drill here is again just from the Killer Can sprue, because I really like the fact that it's just a big fuck off drill, which is really cool. We've got some little gubbins and things because I wanted the legs to be oh, what came first, chicken or the egg? Oh, that's an excellent joke, that is. But anyway, I digress. I wanted the legs to be a bit more chunky, so again I used more bits here from the Mega Knob sprue, and then some bits of plastic card piping that I actually had lying around as well, just to give the front of them a much more armoured appearance. And left the back of them all worky, you know, with all the worky bits and stuff. Let's try to zoom in here so we can see a little bit more of him. I've got my arm in paint again, for fuck's sake. Moving up, yeah, so we basically just drilled in and used some green stuff to secure the arms to the actual back of him, because the back of Ghazghkull's Mega Armor is actually quite substantial, so I thought it's actually going to look okay, and he actually looks quite balanced, this does, as a miniature. We've got some little pipes. Now, for the life of me, the teleporter kind of set up here, I couldn't fucking for the life of me work out how these 2 sets of cables went, so I put 2 sets and then made my own going here. And this little assembly here is basically a spacer just to make it a little bit higher, because the way I did it with the shoulder pads, the teleporter setup wasn't going to sit on there properly. The shoulder pads, again, from Killer Cans, and that is actual Dreadnought front part with this big red glowy eye on it here. I just thought it looked really cool and mech-like. One of my favourite things about it is actually his little control pad here on his arm. Just really cool, and just looks proper worky, and it just looks like it you know, it does stuff. Maybe that powers the saws or the arms, the blades or whatever. We did some nice glowy effects with the Vallejo Dayglow green and stuff like that. And oh, his head. You might be noticing, guys, that it's not a standard Games Workshop Orc head, because I was sick of using the Ghazghkull head, because I've used it so many times. So what I decided to do, I used the Max Mini Tech Freak heads, and they are absolutely brilliant. And if there's any Orc guys out there watching this, I highly recommend you pick up a sprue of them, because they're so cool. Originally, I was going to use... Where is it? Originally, I was going to use this head here, but it left too much of a gap down here, and you couldn't, and it was just too obvious. I tried putting like an iron gob under there, but it just didn't work. So I had that on there because he has an iron gob kind of built in. But I was going to use this head initially. I might use this head on another guy, maybe on something that I'm working on in the future, which is really, really cool. Oh shit! They knocked over some paint. Trying to think anything else on this. Yeah, so one of the biggest challenges, like I said, was actually getting his torso to glue there, and I've cunningly disguised the horrendous join that I did with this cool little bit of pipe going on here. But the legs just look really substantial and really chunky, and this guy is actually, I think he might even be a little bit bigger than a killer can. Let's find out, shall we? There's a killer can. There he is. Yeah, he's bigger than a killer can, which is really, really cool. So I could run him as a killer can if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because that would just be a waste. But yeah, just loads of really, really cool gubbins on here. Absolutely fantastic. Like I said, the arms are actually spaced with some green stuff because they were a little bit too in trim with his torso, and they didn't have the dynamic look that I wanted, so I decided, you know, let's space out a bit of green stuff so we can get a bit more of a dynamic pose going on in there. But really, really good. He looks dead stompy, dead killy, dead mechy, and just an absolutely fantastic miniature. It was really, really fun to build and to paint. I actually painted majority of this guy separate, so the arms, the head, the teleporter gun, the legs and the torso I kind of painted all in one, but nonetheless, it turned out absolutely fantastic. And because there's a bit of green on this one, he doesn't look like a sea of rusty metal with a few splashes of blue on. He actually looks pretty good. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And also, the AK Interactive oil effects were really, really helpful on this. Because, again, they just make stuff stand out a little bit. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this guy. However, guys, as you will have probably guessed by the title, this mech does not have a name. So he needs a name, guys. Now, what I'd like you to do is vote for a name that you think best fits. Not actually vote for a name, sorry. Is put a suggestion in the comments, in the doobly-doo down below, as to what name you think best befits this biggest of mechs. Like I say, he's going to be the leader of my dread mob, and he deserves a really awesome name to go with him. Like I say, my clan colour is blue, and the majority of, like, the jaw type things, I know he's not got a blue jaw on here, but the fuck, I'm choking. But the majority of the jaws and stuff on like the little glyphs and things, I've got a blue. So I was thinking like, obviously the clan is the Blue Jaws or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. If you've got a name for a clan maybe, that'd be even cooler, guys. So please put a suggestion in the doobly-doo down below. Now, some people have also stated that I should maybe gore him up a little bit, and I'm not too sure whether or not I want to gore him up, mainly because I don't want to wreck him. I find that with gore, it's very hit or miss, and it can go either one way or the other. It can either look immensely cool, or it can look like kiddie blood, and none of us like to have kiddie blood on our models. Now, by kiddie blood, you all know what I mean. When we were kids, when we did the hobby, we just thought, fuck it, put loads of red on it, and spread the red about to make it look like it was all gory and things. But I just don't know. I might leave him like this. You know, I'm just against doing blood effects really on miniatures, but I might do. Depends what I think, how I feel. What do you think, guys? Anyway, let me know. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this. Please don't forget to pop a name for the big mech in the doobly-doo down below. Don't forget to like, favourite, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the link in the doobly-doo as well for the Facebook group, where you'll see sneak peeks of things like this, what I'm doing. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you now, and goodbye.